Hello, my name is Utku Soytekin, and this is my presentation for the Hack Something project. Today I will be covering CSRF, better known as Cross-Site Request Forgery. So CSRF is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to induce users to perform actions that they do not intend to perform. So if we look at the picture and the sample scenario here, let's say the user was logged on into Facebook and they opened another tab and they visited a malicious website that included a code like this in the HTML file that basically instructs Facebook to change the email that is associated with that user. So even though the user did not want to perform that action, even though if they were not in that website, that action could still be performed due to CSRF. And some of the ways, some of the reasons for that, and how does this attack work is that for this attack to be successful, there has to be three conditions. So the first that we talked about is the relevant action. So in our example, in that case, the action was to change the email that was associated with that account. Also, there needs to be a cookie-based session handling. So since HTTP is a stateless protocol, they use cookies for user authentication, and that's why it is important that a session with those cookies is opened for the CSRF attack to be successful, because when a request is being made, those cookies are being used to authenticate that user. So that's why in the sample scenario, it was important that the user was logged into Facebook and it was open in another tab. Um, the other condition that needs to be met is that there shouldn't be any unpredictable request parameters. I will speak more about this in the demo, but to speak about it briefly here, when we perform an action, usually there are multiple parameters. Like for example, if we are trying to reset a password, they might ask the old password. Uh, for this attack to be successful, the attacker shouldn't be needing to know the old password and, for example, leaving that parameter blank and still being able to change that password. So more details on the example of changing the email. Let's say a vulnerable website had a form that users would use do post requests to fill, and this would be an example post request. And for example, on another website, we embed this form action in an HTML code, and that website, when that opens, it automatically would perform the action on the vulnerable website and changing the email address of that user. So some delivery methods for CSRFs is social engineering is one of them. The attacker can send a phishing email directing the user to their vulnerable website, which then perform the action on the intended website. Also, reflected cross-site scripting could be used to inject a script that directs the users to a website. So that's also another delivery method. The impact, so if executed successfully, this attack can cause many unintended actions. So these actions may include, like we said, changing the email or password or any like contact information, address or phone number associated with an account. And furthermore, the damage can vary from application and what that application is. Like for example, if the application is for banking, the attacker can transfer funds from the victim to their account. That could also be a possible impact scenario. Some remediation methods that can be used. One is CSRF tokens. So these tokens are created, they're unique, secret, and unpredictable value. And this is generated by the server and they are shared with the client. So even if the attacker tries to redirect the user to the website, they would need to embed this token in the HTML GET request or POST request. So since they don't know this token, this would prevent them from achieving their goal. Same-site cookies is another method. It's a browser security mechanism that determines when a website's cookies are included in requests originating from other websites. And one other method is the referrer-based validation. This is not very recommended. CSRF tokens are better, but some developers look at the HTTP referrer header to defend against these type of attacks. And as for references, I looked at the Portswigger website, and this was the presentation portion of the presentation. Now I will proceed with the technical demo. Thanks for listening. Hello and welcome to the technical demonstration part of the presentation. Today, to demonstrate the cross-site request forgery attack, I will be using DVWA, which is the Damn Vulnerable Web Application. The system setup is that it's running on Docker and it's running on localhost port 4280. So this vulnerable web application has different attack scenarios for different vulnerabilities, and there are different security levels as well. Today, for our demonstration, we will be doing the low security level. So if we look at this help document, which can be founded in GitHub, first it explains the cross-site request forgery attack, and the objective it outlines is as our task is to make the current user change their password without them knowing about their actions using this CSRF attack. So right now there are no measures in place, so let's get started. So firstly, I will show you that the username is for the admin account's admin, and the password is set as password right now. So as you can see, if we test the credentials, if we enter admin as username, password as the password, it will give us a valid password for admin. So first, I want to change the password. I want to change it to something else. I will change it to test123, and then I will confirm it and I will send that request. So if we send that request, we can see that we get the output password changed. And if we look at the URL, we can see what is being sent to the server and the parameters. So as you can see, there are two parameters, actually three parameters, the password new and the password confirmation, which is exactly the two parameters that we entered, and the change is equal to change. So by using this URL and changing the parameters, if I make the user click on this URL to a password that I set myself, I can make them change their password without them even knowing about it. So an attacker for this type of scenario, they would most likely use social engineering as the delivery method, and they can basically send the victim a phishing email and make them visit their site and click on a link, which is kind of what I'm going to do and what I'm going to demonstrate, minus the email part. But I created a HTML document here. So if you see, we have the URL and it is embedded inside the link. So I already created this, and I'm going to change the password to, let's say, ABC. And then, yes, let's change it to ABC. So if we save this and close it, and then if we open this HTML, so imagine if this HTML was being sent to the victim and they clicked on it, and there's this link that says click here. So if they click here, they will see that their password will be changed from what was it, test123 to ABC. And we can test this by clicking to test credentials, going admin, say test123, and it will say wrong password for admin. But if we go admin and if we put ABC, it will say valid password for admin. So by getting the user to visit our website and click on the malicious link, we got them to change their passwords without even them noticing it, basically. And so that pretty much summarizes the attack. Thank you for watching.